What is poppin', y'all? Welcome back to another YouTube video. Today we're taking a look at some more game news, going back through the games that we've played on the channel, taking a look at them, taking all the gameplay into account, and seeing how it fares up, seeing my opinion on the game, because I don't really give that in the gameplay videos. I just play the game, make some jokes, talk about some good aspects, talk about bad aspects, but I don't give it a rating. I don't go in depth with my detail. So here it is in the game review. So we did play Sonic Forces a couple of months back on the channel, and I did complete that game. So here I am to do one of the most hated Sonic games out there. The Sonic fanbase is an awful fanbase. I'm sorry, you're all toxic as fuck. But gonna give my opinion on this game. A lot of people hate it. I quite like it, if I'm gonna be honest. It does tickle my fancy. So, here is Sonic Forces. It starts with Sonic being kidnapped by Dr. Eggman, him bringing back some old villains from some previous games in the form of Shadow, Robot Sonic, Mecha Sonic, whatever you want to call him, another two, which I forget the names of, Eggman, and this new one here, Chaos or whatever his name is. I forgot. It's the new generic Sonic villain for this game. And we do have to go and rescue Sonic as our new character, our new hero, who we get to design and dress up and evolve as the game goes on, which I like that aspect. I like the aspect of us having a self-insert character. I know a lot of people create their own OCs online and create their own Sonic characters, and they can live out that dream in this game here. And I too like the fact that I can create my own character and put it in the game and play as them. I just think it's pretty cool and a unique concept to have for a Sonic game. However, I do think that LEGO DC Supervillains did do it better than Sonic Forces. They just have the character grow and develop more and unlock more powers throughout the game in DC Supervillains, and they have a plot twist ending to explain more stuff about your character. Whereas this, you are just a random civilian who's joined in with Knuckles' rebellion and just sort of thrown into the mix here. You're not that special. You're just a generic soldier that helps out a little more than the others. You do get your fair share of Sonic levels, because, again, it is a Sonic game, so you rescue him quite early on, and get him. I did play this game on, a medium difficulty, the average difficulty, and I beat most of the levels first try. I think I struggled on one or two of them, but other than that, I beat them all first try, and I got through them, so it's a very easy, very short game. It's not as long as some of the other games that I've played. I completed it within, 10 episodes, I do believe. It wasn't long. I whizzed through this game. Again, being a Sonic game, gotta go fast. Going fast through the entire game isn't always a good thing. Having a really short game isn't always a good thing. Sometimes it's good to have short and sweet, like I've talked about in my anime reviews, but for a game like this, I thought they could have developed a few more areas and gone a little deeper into the story of all these villains coming back, why they're villains, and what they're doing. They sort of glossed over it really quickly and gave some pretty mediocre, pretty easy, boring boss battles with each villain from previous games that you had to fight again here. I thought they were just really boring to fight, especially the main villain. His was pretty easy. It was just timing that you had to do. Jump over the beams, hit him, wait till he crashed. Jump over the beams, hit him, wait till he crashed. It's just got very repetitive and very boring very quickly. I'm a big fan of Sonic games. I like Sonic, I like his character, I like his movies, I like his shows, but I just don't think they explored this game as much as they could have. They just tried to rush something out and get something out to appease the fans. There's something in here for everybody. They open an old dimension to classic Sonic, who saves Tails, because Tails is incapable of doing anything for himself in this game. So classic Sonic's here, so we have the classic Sonic fans being, appeased to. We have the fans of other characters, like Shadow, Knuckles, Silver, all of those different characters are still here. They do take a big of a back seat. Like, they're in it for, like, a few cutscenes, and that's it. They talk to you occasionally, but they're not involved in the game. But they're still there, so fans of the other characters get pleased too. Then we also have the people who make their own OCs, their own original characters, their own self-inserts. Them are pleased too with the main character of the game. And everyone gets a little bit to be pleased about, but again, they don't go into detail with each concept. Like, classic Sonic comes in, saves the day, and then leaves again. Without saying a single word, he comes in, saves Tails, you play a couple of levels as him, as the 2D platformer with some 3D elements, and then he's gone. We have normal Sonic doing a couple of levels, just running down the track, gotta go fast, gotta go speedy, being the fast he can, rushing through the levels. I'm pretty sure I missed half of some of the levels because there's that many shortcuts through this game, or places that you don't have to go to, so you can just whiz through it. With Sonic games, I do think controlling Sonic is a bit hard. You know, with his speed, him going fast is his whole thing, but, like, his speed makes him pretty hard to control and navigate, and that's why I sort of struggled playing this, and I think I died the most because of playing as Sonic and going too quick. But when you hit something, it kills his momentum, or if you do anything in the slightest, get hit, it kills your momentum so much and sort of drags you out a little bit with how slow you have to start. Like, going again, you build up that speed gradually, and I like going fast. I like the speedy, fast-paced part of the game. But when you hit something and it kills your momentum and you gotta start from going slow again, it's really annoying and very upsetting. It's like playing Subway Surfers, going so far, getting used to the speed, because you don't really notice it as it gradually speeds up, and then starting again and realizing how slow it is. Subway Surfers is good at that. Sonic isn't. I do think it's a good game. I do think it's got a decent story with the characters coming back and you having to stop them. And the final boss battle was too easy, if I'm being honest. All the boss battles were way too easy in this game. There was no real challenge. I didn't really feel like there was any threat. I got really cocky and big-headed because playing this was super easy and I flashed through it. So I was all like, I'm so cool, I'm the bestest. And it just seemed like a very nothing game. You got through it too quick. There was too many repetitive sort of levels just recolored and redesigned. Too many just free rewards that you got from every level. Every time you complete a level, you got a free reward. I liked that. I thought that was cool. But when you get like a really crappy t-shirt every time, it's quite boring and quite basic, and it's just like, I've already designed my character, I don't need new stuff, I don't want new stuff, and it tries to add into that replayability where you unlock new stuff, so you want to go back and play with that stuff and use that stuff. There's also a couple of DLCs to this game which I never got, which is a Sonic shirt, which I think is pointless, and you can also go back and play as Shadow and the main villain from the game. So you're playing as the villain, but you're fighting the villain. It gets all confusing at some points, but I do like the lightning powers and the different grapple guns that you unlock. I think they're really cool and unique, and I like that concept of it, with the lightning grapple and the fire and the ice that you get. You unlock pretty much most of the elements, and I like that. I think that was cool and unique, and something that could be explored a little more in some future Sonic games. I don't know, maybe. I would like that, especially with Tails, just giving him some, like, elemental gadgets would be quite cool. But again, Tails using a gun seems a little off, if I'm being honest. Tails is more of a pacifist mechanic. But, yeah, that's my review of the game. I think it's a decent game. It's got a good story, and I think it could have been a lot better than what it was if they just gave more time to it and tried a little harder with it and didn't try and please everybody. Maybe like cut out classic Sonic and focus more on the other things that they tried to do. Because I think it's a great idea. They just didn't fully flesh it out. They sort of tried to do too much with it and ended up just being a okay, mediocre game. I am going to give it like a 5 out of 10. Solid in the middle. It's a decent game. I enjoyed playing it. Some of the dialogue was a little off as well. Like, the characters' expressions wasn't really there. Sonic is supposed to be like upbeat, happy freedom fighter. Knuckles is supposed to be like angry, grumpy. They've turned him into like a small pea-brain recently. But, you know, when they're talking, they have no expression to their faces. Like, their eyebrows and their mouth move like very still and robotic and basic movements. They don't sort of move their mouth. They don't smile. They don't have that eyebrow expression. I know they don't have eyebrows, but you know what I mean? Like, they don't have that facial expression that just sort of fills out the character, so it just seems bland and basic. But there is a lot of characters to think about and to juggle with, and I do get why most of them were backseated for this new character, which doesn't talk, by the way. You don't talk as your new character, which is whatever. And then we never hear from your character again. This is the only game we hear from your character. I know with a custom character, it's hard to pass it over into future games, but it would be nice to just have in like some villages or some towns or cities to have some characters that were made in this game just thrown in the background, and then, hey, you know, you could have seen your Sonic Forces character being made in the background. But, yeah, it doesn't deserve all the praise it gets. It doesn't deserve all the hate it gets. It's just, okay, it's meh. Just a decent game that tried to please everybody and ended up pleasing none. I just don't think they released its full potential. I think it could have been a lot better than what it was, and I wish it was, if I'm being honest. I really enjoyed this sort of story with the dimensions and the portals and the new characters and the create your own character aspect, but again, LEGO did it better with DC Supervillains. I'm sorry, they did. They did do it better. But other than that, I hope you all enjoyed this YouTube video. See you all next one. Have a nice day, and goodbye. Stay home and stay safe.